Alright, you guys, welcome to the next episode of my mukbang. As you can see, things are looking a little different. My light is actually out, so I can't film where I normally film, and unfortunately, because of the way the camera's set up, because I don't want it to have those little lines like this, you can't see the food. I will show it as I eat it, I promise you. And it's a special day. Tomorrow will be Super Bowl weekend when you're watching this. But today, it's Maxzilla's birthday. Yes, he is 5, so he is going to be joining me on this mukbang. He does not have food as good as mine, unfortunately. I am eating lengua tacos. And for anyone who doesn't know what that is, that's beef tongue. And Maxzilla is going to be eating hot dogs and cucumbers. But he'll be fine with that. As you hear, he's crying. He's ready. Oh, let me get his hat. Hold on. Alright, so now he is fully ready for his birthday. He doesn't care. He just is ready to eat. So, okay, you're going to eat. Alright, so let's start. Okay, so what I am going to be watching today, or what I have watched, I watched Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. Go ahead, eat it. Go ahead. I watched Tyler Perry's A Fall from Grace. I was hoping you'd be able to see him in the video. You're just going to hear him disgustingly chew. Because I heard like a lot of reactions and stuff about it. Like I purposely, because I knew I didn't want to watch it eventually, I didn't listen to anybody else's video about it. Let me just get this real quick. He's going to choke. You heard that? Yeah, he's definitely gonna choke himself doing all that. But anyway, yeah, so I was like, let me go ahead and watch it. You don't want to eat your cucumbers? You made yourself sick? Probably. I said I'm gonna go ahead and watch it because I wanted to go ahead and see what the hype was about. Also, for anyone who's wondering why am I in a bonnet, I actually started dyeing my hair, waxing it real quick. And by the time I got the wax on, they came with my food, and I didn't want to eat Mexican food cold. Yeah, so I watched this movie. I took notes, y'all. I was on top of things, but the notes is on what I'm using to record this, so I'm probably still going to be all over the place. But as I talk to you, let me go ahead and get my food prepped. So, don't be looking at my plate. You had your own. Excuse you. Alright, so this is my food. These are my tacos. Yes. You still can't see me through my lap, so I'm not even gonna waste my time doing it. So let's start off. Okay, so it starts off with the husband, who is a light-skinned dude. Oh, first and foremost, too, this is probably gonna be a real preachy episode about Tyler Perry and the way that he does things. I'm just letting you know now. If you're a Tyler Perry fan, you probably gonna hate me. That's okay. I ain't here for your hate. Even your hate clicks give me money, so that's all that matters. But anyway, so it starts off with this cop. He's a black cop, and he is on the ledge of this woman's house, and she's like, how could I be so stupid? Blah, 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 blah. How could I be so stupid? And she jumps off the ledge of a building. She kills herself. And you're like, wow, Tyler Perry, that could have been heavy. But I know it's you, Tyler Perry, so I don't feel that way. So then he goes home to his lawyer wife, and they share a car. And I don't know why, like, she's a public defender, so she's just now starting out. And so they're broke. I'm assuming this means that they're newlyweds and that they're both new in their job, which is what I think he's trying to convey. I don't think he did a very accurate job of conveying that, but that's the way I'm gonna take it, and I could be wrong. So yeah, so he's like, babe, it's time for you to go to work. You take the car. And she's like, no, you take your mother to go grocery shopping today. And he's like, no, I told her I'll do it a different day, because, you know, he's still feeling bad about the woman who killed herself. I mean, relatably so. I feel like that's a heavy thing. Oh, why didn't I get the double wrap tacos? Okay, whatever. I feel like that's a heavy thing. So, old girl is given like this high case, basically. Why did you take it like this? Here. Old girl is given this case I've been talking about all on the radio, all on the TV. Like, everybody knows about this case. And she's being told that the woman wants to take a plea deal, right? But then she gets to know her. Like, first she's like, I don't want to take this case. Like, I know she's guilty. She's a very jaded public defender. Like, she's like, I only represent drug addicts and people who are, like, obviously guilty, right? Like, these people have only done wrong in their lives. So I know they're guilty. I don't care about actually defending them. I just want to, you know, get the plea deal and go. And so she goes with this stuff, and then she actually talks to the lady, and she finds out, like, yes, she did, in fact, try to kill her husband. But here's the reason why. She's an older lady. She just recently got divorced. Her husband cheated on her with the secretary. She walked in on the bedroom of them cheating. And then she starts dating this guy who's younger than her. And they fall in love and all this type of stuff. Like, he's like the perfect guy for her. It's what she keeps thinking. Like, she's like, how could I have found someone after being divorced? I say newly divorced, but I think she said she's divorced for 6 years. You know, how could I fall in love with a guy so quickly after being single and praying for this for 7 years? Like, this man is perfect. You know, so she has a best friend who's played by Felicia Rashad. And she's like, you know, basically she's telling her, Stella, go get your groove back. All right? So she ends up marrying this dude, right? And in the beginning, as things always are, everything is perfect. Absolutely perfect. She can't find anything wrong. And then, all of a sudden, like, he basically breaks into her bank account. She's a banker. She's not like a teller. Like, she had some higher up management job. So she's doing pretty well for herself. And then all of a sudden she gets fired from her company for stealing like $3,000. And she's like, I didn't take $3,000. I don't know what you're talking about. And they're like, well, somebody got into your computer and logged in and took all your stuff. And she was just like, how could they do this to me? I've been working here for so long and this, that, and they didn't even give me like a chance to defend myself, this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden she like goes to a different bank about what's going on. They're like, well, we still need a payment on your mortgage. And she's like, a mortgage? My house has been paid off for. It's been paid off for like 6 years. She's like, oh, somebody took out a second mortgage on your house. Well, then, of course, come to find out, it's the dude that she just married, like, that he's scamming her. And he will not leave the house because of whatever state they live in. Basically, once they became married, whatever her assets were became his assets. He's getting frustrated with me today, but he'll be okay. It's his birthday. He has to wear his birthday hat. So, whatever her assets were became his assets. And she could not kick this man out of the house. Like, he was cheating on her. Like, while she was in the house, she walked in on him having sex with some other lady. And then he kicked her out and was like, basically, give me my privacy because we're not really married. We're just married on paper. Which, to me, I'm like, if that's the case, take this man to divorce court. Why are you fighting with him? Because she couldn't get the police to kick him out because they were technically still together. So why she didn't just divorce him and send him divorce papers, I don't know. She tried to get a lawyer, and that was like $10,000, but there are lawyers around here. I mean, at least in my town, there are lawyers that, like, you can hire that won't charge you until you win the case. So, yeah, so last time she asked him, she's like, will you please give me my money and get out of my house? And he goes on, like, this, Tyler Perry-esque monologue, basically telling her, like, I love you, but I don't love you the way you love me, and this, that, and the other. So she beat him with the baseball bat. Knocked him clean out. Yes, she did. And then she dragged him down the steps and put him in the basement. Then she called her best friend and told her that she killed him. So then the best friend went by her house. And the best friend said when she went to the house, she got the body. Or, the body was gone, right? So, Now they're like, what the heck? Okay, so that would be my lead, okay? One thing I want to point out about this, the lady, I think her name was Jasmine, who's playing the lawyer to the woman who killed her husband or thought she killed her husband, is the worst lawyer in the history of lawyerdom, okay? She's a public defender and she's supposed to just get plea deals. Like, that's what she's been doing since she's been working there. And it has made her really, like, jaded and really hate her job. And feeling like she's not supposed to be in that profession. But the whole point is, so they go to trial about it and stuff. Like, she decides not to plead guilty. She decides to go to trial with Jasmine as her lawyer because this is giving Jasmine that spark that she needed to be a lawyer, right? Okay, cool. But my problem is that they were not fighting for the right thing. They were trying to basically fight and say that she didn't do anything. That she did not try to kill her husband. That she didn't try to do anything. Like, because they couldn't find a body. Which in my opinion, and I'm not a lawyer, I don't know nothing about this. I just feel like that was not the right way to go about things. Because, like, if it was just them two in the house, like, who else, why are there blood spatters on the floor and stuff like that? Like, it didn't make any sense to fight and say that she didn't do it, but rather than say that he's not, you can't say that you can't charge her for murder because you couldn't find a body to say if she murdered this man or not, right? So, sorry, y'all. This is a mango drink. And for anyone who knows me, I love mango stuff. Love it. So I'm, like, addicted to this stuff. Anyway. So, you ask yourself, like, why is she arguing for this lady to be innocent when everybody knows she's not, okay? There's no question about it. She's not innocent. So, basically, she's getting, like, destroyed in this courtroom, y'all. Destroyed. Because, again, she's bad at her job. Terrible as a lawyer. And so then she brings Sarah, that's the best friend, to the stand, ask her a bunch of questions, and then the other side wants to question her and is like, did so-and-so, I cannot remember this lady's name for some reason, I'm so sorry, call you and tell you, like, that she killed him or whatever. And she's basically like, no, you know, we barely talked that day and this, that, and the other. So then he's like, I have the phone records that show that she called you. Like, of course he does, you know. So basically at the end of the day, the lawyer, Jasmine, gets locked up for contempt because for her closing argument, she wants to re-question Sarah. And you can't because the closing arguments, but she's like, I just need another chance. Like, that's not how court works, you know. So basically they lose the trial. Waters, I think that's what the lady's last name is guilty. Jasmine's in jail. Her husband cops gets her out. So he just apologized to the judge so we can go home and this, that, and the other. So then you get to the ending, which everyone thinks is like this twist ending, right? Twist ending, but it's not really a twist. Basically, a twist is that Sarah is the mom of the son that married Waters and put her in jail and all this other type of stuff. And then they end up kidnapping Jasmine, but then she shoots him to death when her cop husband comes to, like, save her. And then it turns out they're running, like, this whole entire, like, money scheme to steal from older women. And they're keeping these old women hostage. Now, here is where the problems lie in this fairy tale that... I can't even call this a fairy tale. Tyler Perry has tropes that he always writes, okay? Black women have to suffer. That is the main point of his stories. Black women have to suffer to make it in life, okay? 2, light-skinned men are the only good men. I don't know why. The cop, Jasmine's husband, is light-skinned. And the bad guy who steals from old women, he's dark-skinned. But it's always a theme in Tyler Perry's movies. And that's what I don't understand. Like, why is that something that you're trying to convey to the general public? And it's very colorist based, I think, because, you know, colorism basically says, like, darker skin is associated with aggression, and it's associated with, like, you know, dark is associated with evil, things like that. But I think when he does that, like, on, like, Diary of a Mad Black Woman, of course, and this one, it's a very irresponsible thing to convey in your movies. Like, I think it's just a very irresponsible narrative. His extras were drinking water, but there was nothing in the cup. And I know I saw this on Facebook, and I didn't believe it. Like, I was genuinely going into this like everything they said on Facebook was a lie. There is no way this man who makes so much money and has so many scripts under his belt would do this. But he did. And, you know, as someone who has an acting background, like, obviously I can tell they're not having real conversations. Like, when you're an extra in something, they tell you to say watermelon, peas, carrots, peaches. Like, you're supposed to say mouth fruit. You know, and it looks like you're having a conversation. And then you nod your head and you smile and you, Yeah, like, you do stuff like that. But you do not interact with things that don't exist. Don't drink water if you ain't got water in your cup. The wigs, baby. Ooh, baby child. Woo! Okay. Ever since Tyler Perry got big, Medea's wigs have been laid and slayed, honey. Laid and slayed. Not a hair out of place. Forehead covered in invisible lace. Amen, amen, right? So why, for the rest of his actors, are they out here looking like chinchilla pets? Chia. Especially when the part where she said it was a whirlwind and then the wig was down. Like, it was at least a little bit put together. And then all of a sudden, oh, it was a whirlwind. Boom. That thing grew like you had added water to it. It was crazy. Like, whoever was supposed to be the continuity checker on set should have been fired, okay? But I'm sure he doesn't even have one, because Tyler Perry, from what I've seen on his interviews, is very, let me do it myself. But not because he thinks that he's perfect, but because he doesn't want to pay other people money. That's how I felt about it. And then, like, some of the things that he writes, like, okay, so some of the things that he writes go into the realm of stereotypes. Like, Jasmine's boss is played by Tyler Perry. And let me just say, when he starts talking fast, or he tries to talk, like, with feeling in his parts, he sounds just like Madea. Like, he's gonna have to stop acting in his own movies, because that's the only thing people are gonna be able to hear from him is, well, he's Madea, right? So, and there's nothing bad, it's just facts. Like, when you build yourself off of a certain character, of course, that's who people are going to associate you with. You can't do anything about that. You just have to just accept it and move on with it, right? So, but yeah, he talks fast like Madea. But he talks so hard to Jasmine, like, so hard. He says something along the lines of, like they're arguing about something, and he's like, maybe if you argue like this in court, you have to be a real lawyer. You'd be able to be a real lawyer. And he said something along the lines of like he says, if you don't win this case, you're fired, because you're never going to be a real lawyer. And he's really hard on her. And there's a stereotype that black women don't learn if you're not hard on them. And I feel like that's what a lot of that conveys. But that's not true. You know, everybody learns differently. I do think there are certain people that you have to be hard on, but race doesn't have anything to do with this. Some people just learn a different way than other people, or they need to make mistakes to learn. But I don't think as a boss, it's your job to set them up for failure or to make them feel worse than they already do. Like, there was the last scene where she was in the prison because she had been arrested for contempt of court. And he basically came to her and was like, how could you miss this, that, and the other? I knew you weren't ready, and all this other type of stuff. Like, I understand you have to have the jerk in the movie. I get it. Like, you have to have some type of antagonist. But with this type of movie, like, it just really struck me as unnecessary. And then, like, there's just so many unrealistic things in this movie. Like, her getting, like, there was one scene where she was like, she got the case file and stuff, and, like, I don't know, I thought that as a lawyer, you're supposed to look through your client's case files and have some type of idea of what's going on. So, like, but then she goes into the jail and she's like, is there anything that you need to tell me and stuff? And I guess she was asking, like, if she was violent, but I feel like they put those type of things in case files, too, if the lady was violent, you know? Or, like, she didn't want the case. Like, that was another thing that struck me as odd, too. Like, she just really did not want to work this case, this, that, and other. And I understand, like, she was supposed to be, like, the jaded lawyer, whatever. But how are you going to get better if you don't take any cases? What sense does that make? And the ending itself was not a surprise ending to me. Like, there's a couple scenes that kind of showed that Felicia's character knew the male's character. Like, when she was in the house and he was like, you're going to talk to in front of your friend. She, like, gave him this really pointed look. It was like, yes, her friend, you know. And, like, in the beginning, when Jasmine goes into their house, Cicely Tyson's character is, like, hiding from Felicia Rashad's character and stuff like that. So that already told you, like, something wasn't right about this lady. So obviously, like, you know, at the end, by the end, you already know that they know each other and stuff. Which, that's another thing. Tyler Perry did Cicely Tyson so wrong. Her character is like, you know, I mean, I understand Cicely Tyson's an older lady. You know, do what you gotta do to make your money, because she says she ain't ever gonna retire, and I respect that. But she just made her like this frail, please don't hurt me, old lady. And I understand. Now, don't come in here and talk about Tyler Perry gives Cicely Tyson a job, because Cicely Tyson works with or without Tyler Perry. Just because y'all are not up on her movies ain't got nothing to do with me. So don't be coming in my comments with that foolishness. But in the wigs, child, I'm going back to it, because he loves these tired, played out bobs. Okay, that woman's bob when she was dating that man was so crusty and dusty and just, where was the invisible part, boo? To make it a bob. Where was the part? Where was the part? You know, I'm on my last taco, so I'm trying to, like, savor it. Yeah, it's like, where was the part? Why is this lady showering in a plastic wig? Tell me that, Tyler Perry. Why you out here rocking your invisible lace? You know, it don't make no sense. It don't make no sense for Tyler Perry to be doing his actors like this. You know, he was on some interview talking about, like, I don't have time for hair and makeup and things, but you got time when it's Medea. You got time when it's Medea. Medea out here be looking hood rich, boo. Hood rich. But your other characters gotta look like this? That don't make no sense. Don't make a lick of sense. And then again, too, the lady was, like, bad at her job. Jasmine, the lawyer, she was bad at her job. It wasn't no other way to explain it. It was like she didn't know none of the rules of court. Did you not go to school? Don't you have to have a law degree to be a lawyer? Like, that is what I was told. In the movie, she says she went to a law school. So what am I missing? Why do you not know how court works? You know? How do you not know that the rule is you have to ask a question, not make a leading statement? As many times as she got objected, it was absolutely insane. You know, and I understand they were trying to say, oh, she's a novice, she's this, that, and the other, but if you a novice, shouldn't that make you more aware of the rules of court? Because you don't want to mess up? And then her friends, of course, you know, they had to have the big dark-skinned woman, yes, girling her in the back, basically. Like, she didn't, she didn't actually say those, but that's basically what she was there for. It was, yes, let me hype up my skinny friend, you know, and that, it's got its own little problematic issues and stuff, too. You know what I mean? So it's like, overall, it was a Tyler Perry film. You knew what you were going into. It's like a Lifetime movie. Drama, drama, drama. Mediocre writing. Things that don't make no sense. Like, how? Oh, let me go back to the beginning. Okay. So like I said, the lady jumped off the top of the, it's so sad. It's over. Jumped off the top of the house. So, it was Sarah's house. The mom of the man who was scamming people and they were keeping people in their basement. It was Sarah's house that she jumped off of. In which, now I question, how did the cop not see Sarah and them other women locked in the basement when the white woman jumped off the top of the house? You know? It makes you wonder, like, it doesn't make me wonder because it's a Tyler Perry film and things that he does doesn't make any sense. And this is where I come to my conclusion of, I know a lot of people feel like if you're black and you criticize Tyler Perry, like, oh, you're against Tyler Perry, you this, that, and the other. But that's not the case here. The case is, as a black person who's going to school for film, like, this is what I want to do with my life, I appreciate that Tyler Perry was kind of the kickoff that we have needed. I appreciate his plays. His plays in the beginning, they're funny. They're good. You know, like, of course, they have the same storylines. Dark-skinned men are evil. Light-skinned men are the angels. And black women have to suffer and find Jesus. Actually, Jasmine didn't find Jesus in this one. That was very surprising to me. I will give him that. But, you know, black women have to suffer before they can, like, make it to the end of the rainbow and all this other type of stuff. So, I'm very thankful for that. But I feel like from when he started to now, it's 2020, it's time to grow up, if that's the right word to put it. It's time to change. You know, people don't want to see the same things anymore. And now we have Issa Rae and Kenya Barris, and I have my own issues with that colorist man over there. But, you know, the things like that. And we have Jordan Peele and, we have Peele and stuff like that. Like, black people are having more choices. We don't have to continue to watch the same things as Tyler Perry. And I think that once a lot of black people get over this, like, nostalgic feeling that Tyler Perry brings, they're not going to continue to support him in those endeavors. And I don't want that to happen to Tyler Perry. Because I don't think, you know, a lot of people are like, Tyler Perry hates black women. I don't think Tyler Perry hates black women. A lot of his interviews, he says that the characters are based off of things and people that he knew in real life. And I think that Tyler Perry has a lot of trauma in regards to black women. In the case of watching them go through traumatic events or hearing about traumatic events that he probably should not have heard of as a child or when he was younger. And probably needs to go to therapy. But instead of doing that, he is taking out in his writing. Which a lot of writers do. But you have to know when to make changes too. I want Tyler Perry to grow as an artist, and I want him to make those changes that are needed. I also feel like he needs to take a writing class, because a lot of the stuff that he has, like the surprise ending that really wasn't a surprise, you know, things like that, like, or like writing things that don't make any sense. How do you have a lawyer that doesn't know the rules of court? That doesn't make any sense. Like, could all be fixed with honing your craft. And Tyler Perry is self-taught, which I think that's great. I think that's amazing that he's a self-taught man who has made all this success. But everyone benefits from practicing and honing in their craft. anyone who is a writer will benefit from a writing class. You don't have to go to get a degree. No one's saying that. But you will always benefit from going back to the basics and saying, these are things you need to look out for. These are things that you can improve in, and this, that, and the other. Like, and there's no shame in that. There's absolutely no shame in this. So I wish Tyler Perry the best. The movie was trash. I'm sorry. Like, it was predictable. It was a basic Tyler Perry film. Like, you had the same stereotypes that you always have. Only thing it was missing was Madea coming out and shooting the black dude that took advantage of the old lady so that his mother could take their money. Literally, that's the only thing that didn't make this a regular Tyler Perry film, was Madea wasn't in it. That's it. I would not recommend it. Tyler Perry, do better. I think there was one movie Madea said, if you knew better, you do better. So I need you to go back to school so you can know better. All right, you guys, thanks for watching. Click that subscribe button, comment, like, and share.